Welcome to Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, where the pizza's stale, the animatronics are haunted, and the employee turnover rate is, let's just say, high. What started as a one-man indie horror game in 2014 is now a massive franchise with books, merch, memes, a Hollywood movie, and a fan base so committed that they probably know more about child hauntings than the average ghost hunter. Today we're gonna dive deep. Not quite Matt Pat red string on a corkboard deep, but deep enough to make you question why animatronics sneak teeth into the complete history of Five Nights at Freddy's. We'll cover every major game, some of the juicy lore, and let's face it, there's no way I can cover all of the lore in one video, and why this terrifying franchise has held our attention for almost a decade. So power up your flashlights, grab a slice of questionable pizza, and keep one ear out for footsteps in the hallway. This is the full story of Five Nights at Freddy's. Before Five Nights at Freddy's, Scott Cawthon released a game called Chipper & Sons Lumber Co., a cutesy, family-friendly sim about a beaver and his dad chopping wood. Innocent enough, right? Well, not exactly. Players found the characters creepy, unintentionally creepy. Like, this looks like a haunted animatronic that wants to steal your soul creepy. Reviewers were brutal, and Scott was crushed. He even considered quitting game development altogether, but instead of giving up, he leaned into the horror. If people thought his characters looked like murder robots, then fine, he's gonna make a game about murder robots. And just like that, the concept of Five Nights at Freddy's was born. Talk about turning trauma into triumph.
Hello. I wanted to record a message for you to help you get settled in on your first night. I actually worked in that office before you. I'm finishing up my last week now, as a matter of fact, so I know it can be a bit overwhelming, but I'm here to tell you there's nothing to worry about. You'll do fine.
Five Nights at Freddy's 1 dropped like a jump scare on August 8th, 2014. Created by Scott Cawthon, it looked like a weird Chuck E. Cheese fever dream, but in the best possible way. You're a security guard trapped in an office with killer animatronics who think your face would look better inside one of their suits. You can't move, you can only watch grainy camera feeds and hope that the power doesn't go out. So basically every Zoom meeting in 2020. The genius of the game? It's weaponized inactivity. You just sit there, you wait, you panic, and then suddenly, BAM! Freddy's in your face. You're screaming louder than when you accidentally open the front-facing camera first thing in the morning. But the real hook? The mystery. Newspaper clippings, creepy audio cues, posters that change when you weren't looking. Five Nights at Freddy's didn't spoon-feed its story. It buried it like a corpse under the floorboards. And we loved digging it up. And what we found was dark. Missing children, suspicious security guards, and possessed animatronics. One of the most talked about theories from the game is that the animatronics were haunted by the spirits of children murdered by a man later known as Purple Guy. Players began to speculate on the meaning behind cryptic newspaper headlines, the torn up rules on the wall, and Freddy's unsettling behaviors. Some even theorized that you, the night guard, were the killer yourself, or perhaps someone trying to make amends. And then there was Golden Freddy, who seemingly broke all the rules of the game, appearing out of nowhere and crashing everything. Was he a ghost? A glitch? A memory? Five Nights at Freddy's 1 didn't just introduce a horror game. It launched an entire community of armchair detectives. And this mystery-laced foundation is exactly what made the franchise so unforgettable from the start.
Hello and welcome to your new summer job at the new and improved Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. I'm here to talk you through some of the things you can expect to see during your first week here and to help you get started down this new and exciting career path. Now, I want you to forget anything you may have heard about the old locations, you know. Some people still have a somewhat negative impression of the company. That old restaurant was kind of left to rot for quite a while, but I want to reassure you, Fazbear Entertainment is committed to family fun and above all, safety.
Just 3 months later, because Scott Cawthon apparently doesn't sleep, Five Nights at Freddy's 2 arrived. No doors, no safety, just vibes and a Freddy mask that somehow fooled haunted robots. I guess animatronics have the object permanence of a goldfish. Now, there were 10 animatronics, and each one had a different mechanic. You had to flash the hallway, wind up the music box, and throw on a mask at the exact right moment. It felt like trying to juggle chainsaws while blindfolded. Every second demanded your full attention, or you were done for. The game introduced Puppet, Mangle, Balloon Boy, who everyone hates, and toy versions of the original crew. It also gave us the Bite of 87, some cryptic minigames, and our first real look at Purple Guy, aka William Afton, the co-founder of Fazbear Entertainment, and quite possibly the worst person that you could put in charge of a children's entertainment venue. FNAF 2 was a prequel that raised a million questions, and it made us realize something important. This wasn't just a spooky game, it was a puzzle box of trauma and murder wrapped in a kid's birthday party. The cryptic Atari-style minigames were especially mind-bending. Players could unlock sequences like Take Cake to the Children, where a crying child is abducted while you're helplessly serving slices. Another minigame showed a figure in purple chasing down and killing children, establishing the earliest visual connection to the murder behind the madness. Theories exploded. Who were these new animatronics? Why did the old ones seem damaged and forgotten? Was the puppet responsible for giving life to the haunted animatronics? And what's the real difference between the Bite of 87 and the later Bite of 83? One theory even suggests that the puppet is the first murdered child, Charlie, Henry's daughter, and that she animates the rest of the spirits in the series. Others debate whether Phone Guy died during one of the nights or if he somehow survived, further muddying the timeline. FNAF 2 didn't just expand the game mechanics, it cracked the lore wide open, laying the groundwork for the twisted family saga and paranormal mystery that would define the series for years.
We found some great new relics over the weekend, and we're out tracking down a new lead right now. So let me just update you real quick, then you can get to work. Like, the attraction opens in like a week, so we have to make sure everything works and nothing catches on fire. When the place opens, people will come in at the opposite end of the building and work their way toward you, then past you and out the exit. Yeah, you've officially become part of the attraction. You'll be starring as a security guard.
FNAF 3 took us 30 years into the future of Fazbear Frights. A horror attraction made from the ruins of the old pizzeria. Great idea, right? Let's turn our trauma into a theme park. This time there's only one real animatronic, Springtrap. But somehow that made the game scarier. This guy is a moldy corpse stuffed into a bunny suit, and he is relentless. You have to use audio lures to guide him away and pray your systems don't fail. Your equipment, camera, audio, ventilation keeps breaking down, and if you don't reboot them fast enough, Springtrap sneaks in. Meanwhile, phantom animatronics like Phantom Chica and Phantom Foxy randomly scream in your face and glitch your system. They don't kill you, but they absolutely ruin your chance of surviving the night. It's like playing tech support with your life on the line. The mini-games returned, this time showing ghost children chasing Purple Guy into a back room. In a twist of poetic justice, he hides inside a spring Bonnie suit, only for the spring locks to fail and to crush him to death. Or so we thought. FNAF 3 offered multiple endings depending on whether you completed all the hidden minigames. In the good ending, the souls of the murdered children are finally freed. In the bad ending, their spirits remain trapped. It was the first time players felt like they had direct influence over the franchise's fate. Theories from the game included whether Springtrap was really dead, he wasn't, if the entire horror attraction was a cover-up attempt by Fazbear Entertainment, and whether this game confirmed that the Purple Guy and Springtrap were one and the same. Spoiler, they are. Some even speculated that the hallucinations were a physical manifestation of the guard's trauma, or maybe the spirits themselves tormenting you. Others noticed strange wall drawings and theorized that the pizzeria's evil wasn't just tied to the animatronics, but the building itself. FNAF 3 raised the stakes and made the past inescapable. It taught players that evil can't be buried. It always finds a way back, preferably in a decaying bunny suit. FNAF 4 said, "You like comfort? Too bad. This one takes place in a child's bedroom, and the animatronics are nightmare versions. Like Freddy, but if he watched The Exorcist and got stuck in a meat grinder. You had to listen closely, like, is that breathing or is it just my own heartbeat closely? And react fast. No cameras, just doors, closets, and a flashlight. It's basically every childhood nightmare, but with a kill screen. The lore takes a hard left here. Through a series of 8-bit mini-games, we see the story of a young boy being tormented by his older brother, who wears a foxy mask and scares him with animatronic dolls. The child's room is filled with unsettling imagery, blinking eyes, disturbing plushies, and a strange Fredbear plush that seems almost sentient. The game culminates with the Bite of 83, where the child is shoved into Fredbear's mouth during a birthday party prank and severely injured, possibly killed. This isn't the same bite from FNAF 2, which only added more confusion to the timeline. Fans speculated that the entire game might be a boy's dying dream, replaying his trauma in a loop as he fades away in a coma. Others suggested this is the origin story of either Gregory or the crying child, and that the Fredbear plush is tied to the puppet's influence or even Afton's surveillance. Some wild theories even posited that this is Michael Afton's perspective, living out guilt for causing the accident, and that the nightmares are symbolic of his internal torment. FNAF 4 blurred the lines between reality, memory, and metaphor. It didn't just show horror, it was horror. You didn't just play it, you felt it. Even if you never picked up a controller, the imagery alone was enough to leave a permanent mark.
These are clearly state-of-the-art. There are just certain design choices that were made for these robots that we don't fully understand. We were hoping that you could shed some light on those.
She can dance. She can sing. She's equipped with a built-in helium tank for inflating balloons right at her fingertips. She can take song requests. She can even dispense ice cream.
With all due respect, those aren't the design choices we were curious about, Mr. Afton.
Sister Location completely rewrote the FNAF rulebook. You could walk, you had cutscenes, and the voice-acted animatronics were somehow charming and horrifying at the same time. Honey, I want the record to show that I have a tiny puppy trying to play with me at this time. You played as Michael Afton, son of William Afton, aka Purple Guy. You're trying to save your sister Elizabeth, who has been killed and possessed by Circus Baby, an animatronic designed to lure and capture children. Each night brought something new, crawling silently past Ballora while she twirls just inches away, rebooting systems under the watchful eye of Funtime Freddy, or enduring the night in a springlock suit that feels like a death trap ready to snap. The final twist? You get scooped, essentially taken apart, so innard, a tangled mass of animatronics, can use your body as a disguise. And somehow, Michael keeps going, suggesting his body is now a hollowed vessel powered by sheer determination, or perhaps something even more mysterious. Theories from this game were wide and plentiful. Was Innard using Michael as a disguise to escape the underground facility? Did Michael willingly sacrifice himself to make amends for his family's sins? And was the sister location facility owned by Afton Robotics, a separate secret branch of Fazbear Entertainment? Fans also speculate that the game's events run parallel to the original Pizzeria Timeline, with some believing that the facility was used to test animatronics before sending them to the public. The idea of Michael being reanimated ties back into theories that he becomes the purple corpse seen in later games, doomed to clean up his father's mess. Sister Location introduced Afton's family as central to the FNAF story, adding emotional weight to the horror and expanding the franchise's scope from Haunted Restaurant to Twisted Legacies. It was no longer just about jump scares, it was personal. Pizzeria Simulator starts off innocent enough. You're running a cute restaurant, buying ball pits and soda fountains. You're upgrading decor, playing arcade games, and collecting revenue. But then night falls and the tone does a 180. Suddenly, you're in the office doing late-night maintenance tasks, printing menus, unclogging toilets, checking vents, while being stalked by animatronics like Scrap Baby, Molten Freddy, and Lefty. It's like if Roller Coaster Tycoon was directed by a horror novelist. Turns out you're Michael Afton again. But this time you're playing the long game, intentionally salvaging and luring in every remaining threat. Why? So you can trap them all in one place and destroy them. The building is set to burn, and the final speech by Henry, co-founder of Fazbear Entertainment, confirms that this was the end game all along. He even includes himself in the sacrifice.
Although there was a way out planned for you, I have a feeling that's not what you want. I have a feeling that you are right where you want to be. I am remaining as well. I am nearby. This place will not be remembered, and the memory of everything that started this can finally begin to fade away, as the agony of every tragedy should. And to you monsters trapped in the corridors, be still and give up your spirits. They don't belong to you. For most of you, I believe there is peace, and perhaps more, waiting for you after the smoke clears. Although for one of you, the darkest pit of hell has opened to swallow you whole, so don't keep the devil waiting, old friend. My daughter, if you can hear me, I knew you would return as well. It's in your nature to protect the innocent. I'm sorry that on that day, the day you were shut out and left to die, no one was there to lift you up into their arms the way you lifted others into yours. And then, what became of you? I should have known you wouldn't be content to disappear. Not my daughter. I couldn't save you then, so let me save you now. It's time to rest, for you and for those you have carried in your arms. This ends, for all of us, in communication.
Theories stemming from Pizzeria Simulator were plentiful. Some players questioned Lefty's origins. Was it simply a vessel for the puppet, or something more? Others analyzed Henry's speech frame by frame, looking for hints that he may have been guiding events since the earliest games. The appearance of Scrap Trap, a more gruesome version of Springtrap, raised questions about how many times William Afton had truly survived and what was left of him. Another huge topic of discussion: is this the true ending of the franchise? With the spirits seemingly freed and the monsters destroyed, many believed that this was Scott Cawthon's intended finale. Some even argued that the game's final moments mirrored real-life closure for the developer himself. Of course, FNAF doesn't really do final, but this chapter gave fans something rare, a moment of catharsis. For the first time, it felt like the cycle of suffering might actually be broken.
How unfortunate! Uh-oh! How unfortunate! I know how much you like to fight, so I'll add a new problem to your night.
Ultimate Custom Night is FNAF's version of how much chaos can one person survive. You pick up to 50 animatronics. Each one has unique mechanics. Some boop your nose, some steal your power, others just insult you. It's like speed dating with serial killers. But this isn't just a challenge mode. According to many fan theories, Ultimate Custom Night is actually William Afton's personal purgatory. After being physically destroyed multiple times, his soul is now trapped in an endless torment, kept there by Cassidy, the vengeful spirit known as the one you should not have killed. Each night in Ultimate Custom Night is him reliving his sins, surrounded by the animatronics he corrupted and destroyed. Every jump scare, every mechanic, every mocking voice line is a reflection of his own cruelty coming back to haunt him. It's a never-ending loop of punishment with no hope of escape, a fitting end for someone who spent his life creating nightmares. Some players believe Cassidy acts as judge, jury, and jailer, deliberately keeping Afton from moving on to the afterlife. Others theorize that Golden Freddy's presence in Ultimate Custom Night is a fusion of Cassidy and the Crying Child, both acting as vengeful spirits united against Afton. There's also debate about whether Ultimate Custom Night is happening in Afton's mind, in literal hell, or inside some kind of digital afterlife constructed by the remnants of Glitch Trap. Some fans interpret the game as a metaphor for guilt and consequence. A karmic time loop for a man who used machines to hurt children, now being tormented by those same machines for eternity. The game also gave us one of the most iconic lines in FNAF history. "I always come back." But Ultimate Custom Night seems determined to say, not this time. Help Wanted brought FNAF into VR, and it was a game changer. Instead of watching the horror unfold through grainy cameras, you were in it. Up close, personal, claustrophobic. There's nothing quite like being in a dark maintenance vent while an 8-foot bunny tries to murder you. But the biggest twist? Glitch Trap. A digital consciousness molded after William Afton himself, hiding inside the game code. According to many theories, Glitch Trap is William's soul uploaded into VR, a kind of techno-possession that allows him to interact with the real world through the player. This was a huge shift in the lore. Afton wasn't just haunting suits anymore, he was evolving. Then came FNAF AR, Special Delivery, which brought the jump scares to your literal doorstep. Using augmented reality, animatronics appeared in your own environment, using your phone's camera to stalk and attack you. Fun for the whole family. This era of FNAF inspired tons of new theories. Was Glitch Trap the true future of Afton's villainy? Were there early signs of Vanessa's involvement even back then? Some fans speculate that the seeds of her corruption began here, long before her full reveal and Security Breach. And were these games hinting at a broader meta-commentary? That Fazbear Entertainment was covering up its dark past by turning its history into games within games. It was the start of FNAF becoming self-aware and way more unsettling.
You are being very distracting. Play with your hair tie.
Showtime already? I am experiencing malfunction. The recharge cycle is not complete.
Shh! Will you shut up?
Who said that?
I did. And down here.
Down where? I still do not see you.
Okay, listen. You were sleeping, so I opened the stomach hatch and climbed inside.
My stomach hatch? That place is reserved for oversized birthday cakes and piñatas. It is not a safe play area. There you are. Scanning complete. How odd. Your guest profile is unknown to me. Who are you?
I'm Gregory.
Gregory.
Security Breach took the series in a bold new direction. Full exploration inside a massive neon-lit shopping mall called Mega Pizzaplex. Gone were the claustrophobic offices. Now you had sprawling atriums, gift shops, and a bowling alley. All crawling with animatronics who looked like they moonlight in a glam rock cover band. You play as Gregory, a kid mysteriously trapped in the mall overnight. And this time, Freddy Fazbear isn't the threat. He's your ally. In a twist no one saw coming, Freddy helps you hide, navigate, and fight back against others. Roxanne Wolf, Montgomery Gator, Glamrock Chica, and the looming presence of Vanny, a masked woman seemingly under Glitch Trap's influence. The game introduced new mechanics like stealth sections, item collection, mini-games, and even boss fights. But it also introduced a whole new web of lore that raised more questions than it answered. Who is Gregory? Is he human, a robot, or something else? What happened to the missing children hinted in the Pizzaplex's hidden rooms? Is Vanessa and Vanny the same person, or two halves of a corrupted soul? One of the biggest fan theories suggests that the Pizzaplex was built on top of the old Fazbear location, literally burying the past. Others believe that Gregory is tied to the crying child from FNAF 4. Then there's the mystery of Patient 46, a character referenced in Hidden Therapy tape whose identity still sparks debate. Despite the bugs and inconsistencies, Security Breach showed that FNAF isn't done evolving, and with every update, secret room, and VHS tape, fans are still piecing together what the heck is going on at Freddy Fazbear's. Into the Pit is a 2D stealth survival horror game based on the Fazbear Fright story of the same name. You play as Oswald, a curious kid who discovers a glowing pit in a decaying Freddy's location, one that unexpectedly transports him back to June 1985, into the heart of the original Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. By day, Oswald explores his town and school, gathering tools and clues. But at night, he's stalked by the Yellow Rabbit, a terrifying figure with ties to William Afton. The gameplay mixes stealth, exploration, and quick play events, as players navigate eerie environments, dodging enemies, and uncovering secrets. The game sparked a fresh wave of theories. Is the Yellow Rabbit simply Spring Bonnie, or something new entirely? Another Afton variant, perhaps? Is the ball pit literally a time machine, or is it a metaphorical bridge between realities? And what does this mean for the multiverse hinted at in the Fazbear Frights books and later FNAF games? Some fans believe that Into the Pit hints at Afton's growing ability to manipulate time and space, laying the groundwork for Glitch Trap's digital possessions in future titles. The game's ambiguous ending only fueled more speculation, with multiple interpretations still debated today. With its retro pixel art, creepy atmosphere, and tight ties to the book series, Into the Pit adds a fresh layer of psychological and temporal horror to the FNAF universe, offering more pieces to a puzzle that fans are obsessively trying to solve.
In the 80s, kids went missing. The police searched Freddy's top to bottom.
Hello?
They never found them. That's why the place shut down.
In 2023, FNAF finally hit the big screen with Five Nights at Freddy's, the movie. The film stayed surprisingly faithful to the games while still offering a unique cinematic take. It blended elements of the original game and various parts of the lore, including child hauntings, Afton's dark past, and of course, haunted animatronics. The film was a box office hit and sparked renewed interest in the franchise from both old fans and new viewers discovering the twisted world of Freddy Fazbear's for the first time. It also led to a wave of new theories. What parts of the movie are canon? Is the film universe separate from the games? Or is this another layer of the FNAF multiverse? Due to its success, a sequel is already in development, and we've even gotten a sneak peek at what's next. Reports suggest that the second FNAF movie will take Mike and the gang to the location of the second game. This means new animatronics, new mysteries, and even more opportunities for heart-pounding scares in a whole new setting.
Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. Definitely not the Freddy's I remember.
You're thinking of the franchise location. This is the original. Nobody's been here for decades. Some little girl got murdered here. Do you guys hear that?
Hear what?
So why is Five Nights at Freddy's still thriving? Because it's not just about getting scared, it's about uncovering secrets. It's that feeling of watching a poster change and screaming, "Wait, was that always there?" It taps into that primal paranoia, the fear that you miss something, and that something wants you to miss it. FNAF's world is full of puzzles, hidden clues, and layers of stories that reward curiosity. The tiniest detail, a screen flicker, a newspaper clipping, a line of garbled audio, could be the key to unraveling a massive theory. And Scott Cawthon knew exactly how to feed the obsession while never fully satisfying it. It's also the theorizing. FNAF doesn't end when the game ends. You jump on Reddit, watch game theory, dive into the fan wiki, or start making your own videos with timelines that contradict three others. And that's part of the fun. Is Gregory a robot? Was the crying child actually Michael Afton? Is every game a game within a game? Theories range from brilliant to bananas, and the fan base loves every second of it. Then there's the community. Cosplayers, artists, animators, voice actors, indie developers. This fandom doesn't just consume content, it creates it. It's a thriving ecosystem of creativity that's helped FNAF stay alive and evolving. FNAF encourages fans to take part in building the universe. from fan games like FNAF Plus to full-on animated series on YouTube. And even when the story gets convoluted, and let's be honest, it does, we still come back because we care, because we want to understand, because FNAF invites us to be a part of something bigger than the jump scares. So yeah, maybe you don't know what year it is in the FNAF timeline. Maybe you still don't understand what Glitch Trap is, but you keep coming back. We all do. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this full breakdown of Five Nights at Freddy's, from creepy ball pits to digital possessions. If you did, please consider liking and subscribing. It really helps keep the flashlight batteries charged. Let me know in the comments which animatronics haunts your dreams. Or better yet, what theories keep you up at night. If you're still in the mood for gaming content, check out one of my other videos on my channel. There's plenty more fun, and maybe a few frights waiting for you. And whatever you do, don't forget to check the hallway. Bye.
Let's create and explore crafts and trends and so much more. Come see what's new at Ginger Hawk, it's all for you.